You see, old Professor Quagmire has been working on something, a little something for you. It is called The Life of King Henry V. Yes? And you may have heard of it before. It's quite a piece of literature, but I've been working on it to show you a little bit of the things you need to, how shall we say, keep in mind as you work on it. The first, of course, is the memorization. You must learn all of the things that are to be said, which most of it stays in your mind, but some of it does go. Some of it does go with age as you get older. The next is you must sustain through the line. You have to play all the way through. You can't just stop with everything that you say, because otherwise you don't get the whole bed of roses, you see. You don't get the dirt and the roots. Okay, you don't get the petals and the pollen. You need all of it at once. So you must sustain the line all the way through the thought, which is a very important thing. The next thing is listen to the rhythms. All right, you must listen to the rhythms of what's being said. A perfect example, listen here when he speaks of printing their proud hooves at the receiving earth, talking about horses, printing their proud, think when you see them, think of horses printing their proud hooves at the receiving earth, and they're just galloping along. These are important things to take note of. So, that said, it's very important to take note. Now, I shall begin as an example. Oh,
for a muse of fire.
Oh, for a muse of fire.
Oh, for a muse of fire.
Oh, for a muse of fire.
Oh, for a muse of fire.
Oh, for a muse of what?
Fire!
Fire.
That would ascend the brightest heaven of invention.
A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene.
Then should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment.
But pardon, gentles all, the flat unraised spirits that hath dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object.
Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or may we cram within this wooden O the very casks that did affright the air at Agincourt? Oh, pardon.
Oh, pardon.
Since a crooked figure may attest
And let
in
us,
little place
ciphers to this great economy, on your
Let us,
imaginary
ciphers of this great
1,000 pieces divide one man.
Suppose within the
May
girdle of
just a
these
little
walls
place in
are now
lieu.
confined.
Receiving earth.
The very casks that did affright the air.
Gently to hear, kindly to judge.
Kindly to judge.
Kindly to judge.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene.
Then should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment.
But pardon, gentles all, the flat, unraised spirits that have dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object.
Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or may we cram within this wooden O the very cast that did affright the air at Agincourt?
Oh, pardon, since a crooked figure may attest in little place a million, and let all ciphers to this great account on your imaginary forces work.
Suppose within the girdle of these walls are now confined two mighty monarchies, whose high, upreared, and abundant fronts the perilous narrow ocean parts asunder.
Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts. Into 1,000 parts divide one man and make imaginary puissance. Think when we talk of forces that you see them.
sprinting their proud hooves in the receiving earth.
For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping o'er times, turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass.
For the which supply,
And bid me chorus to this history, who prologue like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge, our play.
Our play.
Our play.
Our play.
You see, it's all in there. Sometimes it's achieved, sometimes it isn't. But it's the battle. It is the battle and the journey forward into the text and through and upward into a muse of fire that leads the journey that you have led us on, dear sir. And these are things that you must keep in mind as you move forward. Keep those muses in your thoughts and in your heart. For we are your muse in the same way that you are our muse when we were trying to figure things out, you see. Now, we are grateful. So very grateful. And we'd like to thank you with all our hearts. And with all seriousness, have a great final graduating day. And we love you and hope you have a great break. I hope you're going to Europe and all over the place. All right, love you, Jim.